Before doubting any spiritual activity in Africa, go to Africa and move an idol without a permission and not having a spiritual backup. Ejike, a young seminarian, went to an apostolic work in Ijegu Iyaje in Ogoja, Nigeria. Although most of the villagers are all idol worshippers, the little that were Christians agreed to do away with their idols. Ejike agreed to do this. It was a very successful cleanup of some of the idols. A brother and a sister who are also Christians but at the same time idol worshippers were in a meeting where the idol worshippers angrily planned to take Ejike's life. They sneaked out from the meeting to warn Ejike not to leave that night because a man has been appointed by the idol worshippers to possess a snake and launch a spiritual attack on Ejike. While they were still revealing the plot, they saw a snake not crawling this time, but suspended on the air, moving towards a direction like an arrow towards Ejike. They could see that snake from a distance, and then immediately they started screaming. Ejike was scared, but was able to make some prayers before running away. The snake, which was very rigid and was moving like an arrow, suddenly became flaccid and fell on the ground. Scared, everybody ran away, leaving the snake there till the next morning. In the morning, they came out from their hiding and they saw the snake looking as if it was chopped up with a knife. While they were still wondering, they heard cry from the villagers, and the man who was said to have possessed the snake lost his life through the night. Frank Edwards, who is arguably the biggest African gospel artist, recently mysteriously lost his voice and his ability to produce music. And the reason would wow you. He used to be so good that he doesn't write his music, rather he gets a discernment from God, producing wonderful lyrics. This made him so popular that although he is from a very small village in Nigeria, he got the recognition of people like Don Mon, one of the biggest gospel artists in the whole world. Until this happened. He was invited to perform in a very big church that he decided not to expose their identity. Excitedly, he went there without praying. It was an awesome performance and everybody was happy, not knowing that the great church was empowered by an evil author in his words. After the performance, he suddenly felt like his head was empty and a dark wall blocking his source of inspiration to wonderful music. Frank Edward knew there was a problem. It got even worse when people started calling him on phone and asking, when are you going to drop a new song? He kept making excuses. But then he was in a very serious drought. One day his pastor called him with the same concern as everybody. At this point he opened up and told him about where he went to his last performance and what happened. The pastor prayed for him and immediately the next day he came back with wonderful music. Be careful for nothing, but in everything, by prayers and supplications with thanksgiving, let your requests be known to God. Are some gifts meant to bless or curse you? This man's testimony would make you a judge. He lives in an average neighborhood in Nigeria. His next door neighbor was a witch doctor. One day the daughter called him because the witch doctor wants to have a word with him. Uncomfortably, he went out with hands in his pocket to avoid a handshake with the witch doctor. After a friendly chat, the witch doctor told him, I heard you like cola nuts. He said, I'll bring some over to you. I have some good ones. But when he went in, he told his kids, if this man bring a cola nut, please trash them. The witch doctor brought 7 cola nuts in his absence. The daughter trashed 7 of them just like the father instructed her. After that, on 2 occasions, the man had strange dreams. He found himself in a strange forest, confused, not knowing which direction to go. The second disturbing dream was a group of unknown people asking him to join them in a car to go to an unknown destination. On one occasion, after praying in the church, he came back home just to be told by the neighbors that the native doctor passed on without being sick. On a closer check, he realized that that was the 7th day from when the native doctor gave him the gifts to the day he passed on. 7 cola nuts passing away on the 7th day. Could this be a coincidence? The path of the Lord is a refuge for the innocent and ruin for those who do evil. Peace.